Hello, everyone. This is Nathen Larsen here with the 4Life product call. Oh, another great week going on at 4Life. I hope you're all excited. We have a great call for you today. We have two special guests today, and they're going to talk a lot about products, so make sure you get your pen and paper out because you're going to be able to learn a lot of good stuff from someone who's utilizing the products, from someone that's making things happen and really making these products work for him. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to our first guest, Vice President of Communications, Mr. Calvin Jolley. Calvin, welcome to the call.
Hey, thanks so much, Nathan. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to introduce a Team for Life, a long-standing Team for Life member, Brady Stewart, who many of you know has been a Team for Life member now for the last few years. He's a USA powerlifting bench press record holder. Now, a couple of years back, Brady broke the USA powerlifting American bench press record in the 242-pound weight class. He shattered that existing record by 37.5 pounds, and at that particular meet, he pressed 617.3 pounds. That was accomplished on his first attempt, and I'm honored to say that he did that while he was taking 4Life transfer factor supplements. I'm going to ask Brady to introduce himself and tell us what he's been doing. I do have one piece of information I want to impart, however, first to all customers and all 4Life distributors out there. You may have read on the digital newsstand that 4Life Research has just been accredited by the Better Business Bureau, the BBB, in North America. This is a huge accomplishment. You know, the company, we have always enjoyed an A-plus rating from the BBB, but it is only recently that our president and CEO, Steve Tu, decided to go through the formal process of accreditation. Now, 4Life distributors out there, you can share this hallmark of credibility with your customers, and customers can rest assured that they are receiving the best products and the best customer service from 4Life Research. Hey, Brady Stewart, welcome to the call.
Thanks, Calvin.
It's great to have you. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us. Will you take a minute and bring us up to speed with what has been happening with you over the last few months?
Oh, yeah. I bench pressed at the United States Bench Press Nationals in Atlanta back in August of last year, and I won in my weight class in the 264-pound, 120-kilogram weight class, and I bench pressed 678 pounds there. However, I did so lifting on a torn shoulder socket, and I really didn't know that I had been doing that. I knew that my labrum had been torn previously about 2 years ago, and the surgeon had set up some physical therapy appointments with me to rehabilitate that type of injury and try to limit surgery or keep it from happening. But escalating up until August, I actually had been bench pressing on a torn shoulder socket. So
wow.
The doctor told me it was a miracle that I could lift so much, and it was a miracle that I had won. But I think a lot of that has to do with my shoulder health. He was surprised when he was looking in and he did the surgery arthroscopically. He was surprised at how healthy my tissue was in my shoulder, even when it comes to the rotator cuff, all the complexes with that looked completely healthy, 100%. He said, except for the labrum and the end part of the shoulder socket. And I attribute that to transfer factor, and I attribute that to the supplements that 4Life manufactures, mainly Flex for Life and musculoskeletal. I just don't think I could compete and train without those two items minimally.
Oh, that's
yeah, that happened back in August, had surgery in October, so I've just been cleared 2 weeks ago to start lifting again, and then, my next competition being the United States Bench Press Nationals, where I'm the reigning defending champion, and I have quite a puzzle ahead of me to try to put it all together for that meet.
And when is that meet?
That will be in August. I don't have the exact date, but it's in San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so you won by pressing 678 pounds with a torn shoulder socket. That was back last year, and since then, you've gone through surgery. You've been in recovery.
Yes.
I think that that's significant. You know, I mean, our For Life customers and distributors come to the company at all stages of their personal cycle of wellness in their lives.
Yes.
They're looking for products that are going to positively impact their lifestyles, no matter what they do. And I want to run down for our audience right now. You mentioned musculoskeletal and Flex for Life. I'm looking at your auto ship. You take a bunch of products.
Yes.
Transfer Factor Plus, Right Start Men, Musculoskeletal, Flex for Life, Fibro AMJ, Bio EFA, NutriStart, Rio Vita Burst, the gel packs, Energy Go Sticks. Are you taking these every day? And if not, how do you coordinate your supplementation?
Well, I don't take them all every single day, and the reason why is I don't want to flood my body too much with all these different supplements, because I get a queasy stomach if I take a whole lot of stuff. But what I typically do is my supplement regimen is centered around my training program. So it depends on what day I'm lifting. The days after, I consider my recovery period, or excuse me, actually really the immediate time as soon as I'm done training through the next day or two, I consider that more of a recovery period. So I'll kind of cycle through supplements throughout my month or throughout the week even.
Yeah.
And I do that because there's just things like nutrient timing and, when is the most optimal time to take these supplements. So, I pay strict attention to the label, and obviously you want to know what your supplements are doing. So pay attention to what's on the label and why you take it. Have a reason for everything. That's one thing I tell a lot of the guys that I train with and coach is that, when you're in the gym, if you're doing something and you don't have a really good reason why you're doing it, chances are you probably shouldn't be doing it. So what you really want to do is make sure that you are optimally training and training correctly. So the same thing can be said for supplementation. Have a good reason why you're taking it and follow the label, follow the instructions, and see what your body responds to. And I think a lot of times people don't put a lot of stock in that, but personally me, I make sure that my body is responding to what I'm trying to do with it, and if it doesn't, then I try to take a different approach.
And so you're really talking about targeted supplementation. And oftentimes when you look at the wealth of For Life supplements that we have available to us, sometimes you start looking at the label and less is more. You need to choose those supplements at those times that are most going to benefit wherever it is you are in your cycle of wellness. Exactly.
And the best illustration I can give of this is Recall. It's the Transfer Factor Recall. It's centered around nervous system and brain function. Well, myself as a power lifter, we are very central nervous system dominant athletes. We have a higher degree of fast twitch muscle fibers that are extremely efficient. So what I want to make sure is that when I am done training, I have that recall in my body so my nervous system can get that little extra boost of recovery behind it. If I don't, my nervous system may fry. And if it fries, then I get weaker over time. So that's a piece of the puzzle in my supplement
when you talk about your nervous system and making sure that you're targeting supplementation for that, what relation does that play in terms of your core strength training?
Well, if you look at my training, I don't really have it anywhere online because I try to keep it a little quiet. But once a week, I would say maybe 3 weeks a month, I'm lifting very heavy, at least when I'm training for competition, where I'm training with weights in excess of 90%. And, you're talking, my best bench press being 710 pounds, you're talking 630 pounds to 700 plus pounds. That beats your body down. And a lot of times I think people feel like they're recovering because their muscles feel good, when in fact sometimes it could be your nervous system that's a little depressed. So
interesting.
It's true, because muscular-wise you could feel great, you may not be sore, but then you go to the gym and you just kind of feel like junk. And it could be, it's hard to say without a crystal ball looking inside your body, it could be that your nervous system is a little depressed. If your nervous system wasn't depressed, then chances are you probably could lift a little bit better or train a little bit harder. A lot of people don't realize that your nervous system, it's linked to your musculoskeletal system. And all it is basically neurons firing between your brain and your muscles to cause a twitch. So if that connection is a little depressed, you're not going to be as strong. So that day a week, when I'm lifting extremely heavy, I make sure in my supplementation that my supplementation regimen is centered around that heavy day. So I'm making sure that I have the nutrients to train before I train and then after I train. It is targeted in a lot of ways, a lot of senses.
Now, as you know, Brady, and as many customers and distributors on the call are experiencing, we recently, under Dr. Chris Lockwood's direction, our Chief Scientific Officer, launched our latest targeted transfer factor product, Transfer Factor Renuvo. You've gotten it. You've been taking it. Can you give me some context of your experience with Renuvo in terms of workout and recovery that you've been talking about?
Yes. One thing that has been challenging to me, especially after undergoing my shoulder surgery, is that for those 4 months, I did not get to lift weights, and I didn't really get to run or jog. I could get on a bike, maybe do some light walking, but for the most part, I became very detrained. And like most people, they're not in the gym, hitting heavy weights or running long miles or, you know what I mean, doing a lot of endurance. A lot of people don't do that, and I became that, and that was a kind of an eye-opening experience for me because when I came back, things were so hard, and I was sucking wind, and it was very challenging trying to come back. However, these last few weeks, I've been taking the Renuvo, and I can say without a doubt that this is making me recover much faster. I don't feel as sore after taking it, and I'm not lifting the weights that I used to be, at least not yet. But I should be much more sore than I really am. But I really feel that it is, in turn, part of this Renuvo regimen. I've even made a little experiment with myself where I said, okay, well, I'm just starting back in. I just got this new supplement. I want to test drive it. So I'm not going to take my Transfer Factor Recall or my Glutamine Prime. I'm going to replace it with Renuvo just to see how it felt. And I just remember being in the gym, and my wife, she just started working out with me too because she's been in school for a few years. And we were on the bikes together. And this was after my workout. We're on the bikes together, and I'm on this thing, and I am pumping miles out like it was my job. I couldn't believe, I was impressed with myself because I'd never been able to do that before. And I'm not saying that this is a magical supplement or anything, but I really felt like I was recovering. I felt like I had a reduced inflammatory response. I felt like lactic acid wasn't as much of a problem when it builds up in your body.
It is true that as you age, recovery becomes a more laborious process. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. I mean, at least in the 15 years I've been a power lifter, I can't do the amount of work that I used to do. So the recovery and having an optimal supplementation regimen is paramount. It is a little bit harder. You can get your 8 hours of sleep, you can take your protein shakes and all this stuff, but it's still harder. No matter what you do, it is a little harder. But when it comes to the 4 Life supplements, and especially this Renuvo, I'm a fan. I really like this stuff.
Oh, great to hear.
Yeah.
Brady, I've got 3 questions from the field. If I can ask you quickly, we've got one from Utah, one from California, and one from Florida. First of all, this is a general product question. Individual from Utah wants to know what the best 4 Life products are to take when working out if you are, you're working out 3 days a week, you're not a professional athlete, but you're looking to lose some weight, become more fit. Are there specific 4Life products that you would recommend anyone taking?
Yes, I think there are three. The first one is Resume. It's a very nice supplement. I really like it. I believe it has matein in it, which is, I think it's a derivative of caffeine, but it doesn't give you the jitters. But it wakes you up for your workout. It replaces your electrolytes if they are lost before your workout. A lot of times people think that, electrolytes need to be replaced through your workout, which is true, but you might need electrolyte replacement before you even work out, because it's kind of like starting a car and trying to run a race on empty. If you can't really run a race if you're starting with a car that's on empty. So you want to make sure that your fuel for performance, not that the Resume will give you like a big nutritional kick, but what it does do is it will replace your electrolytes and it will wake you up without having the jitters. And I love that. As an athlete, I don't like to feel jittery.
Nice. There's one. You mentioned three. What's number two?
Yes. Number two, it's the Renuvo. I really like it, as reasons discussed before. I feel like it really has reduced the inflammatory response during training, and I actually highly recommend that for the general public. If I have one supplement to pick that's a transfer factor supplement for anybody working out, it would be Renuvo.
Wonderful. Great, and that's our newest, latest targeted transfer factor product. Excellent.
Yeah.
And then number three?
The last would be NutriStart. It's a meal replacement drink. I would take that you could probably start drinking it halfway through your workout, through the end of your workout. All this is nutrition. It's for recovery. Your muscles need fuel right away. Your muscles need recovery immediately. And when you've worked out, you're placing a lot of trauma on your body. And a lot of the other supplement, Renuvo, will help with that. But your muscles need to recover. The only way they can truly recover is through protein synthesis. So that's why I recommend NutriStart. I like it. I actually think it's one of the most delicious protein supplements I've ever taken, and I've taken a lot of protein supplements. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, good. Three products endorsed by Team 4Life member Brady Stewart: Resume, NutriStart, and 4Life Transfer Factor Renuvo. Excellent. Okay, question number two, Brady. This question is coming to you from California. How many days a week should someone work out for, and how long, if they're just beginning their workout regimen? Do you have a recommendation as far as that goes?
Yes. If they are just beginning working out, I would say you probably should do 3 days a week. And I could say I would keep it very simple, very easy. You don't have to come blaring right out of the gate and try to run as fast as you can or as long as you can or lift as much as you can. Take a very slow and smart approach because your body is not adapted to training yet or working out yet. So I would say 3 days a week. I would say a half an hour to an hour if you're just starting out.
Excellent. Good. Thank you for that. And then the final question, this is coming from Florida, the East Coast. This is a general question. What attracted you, Brady, to 4Life?
Oh, wow. I think the number one thing would be integrity. Seems like all the professionals that work for the company are very honest and very straightforward. And a close second is that their supplements and their products, what they say they do, they really do. So as an athlete, it's hard to find a supplement company that backs what they say. And this company has a lot of integrity. They put a lot of science behind their products, and they actually really work. I do not think that I would have the success that I've had without 4Life. So I owe them a lot of my powerlifting career because I feel like they've really helped me achieve the dreams that I've set out for straight from the beginning. So,
And ladies and gentlemen on the call, 4Life distributors and customers alike, that is a gold medalist coming to you. What a compliment, what an endorsement. Brady, let me conclude this call by wishing you well, by wishing your wife Beth well. I know you guys recently moved. I know that she just recently completed her education and is now a registered nurse anesthetist. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So please extend our congratulations to her. The entire executive team sends their well wishes to you, Brady, to your family. We really appreciate you as a Team for Life member, as a brand ambassador, as an advocate of the product line. And For Life distributors, For Life customers, I began with an introduction notifying you of our BBB accreditation. I am going to end with another bit of corporate news. You can go check online. For Life has recently been named the Nutrition Business Journal 2013 Philanthropy Award winner. Now, I know that's not product specific, but I think that goes back to one of the reasons Brady's attracted to For Life. We have the products do what they intend to do, and you have an executive and a corporate team who is here to support you in all areas of science and success and service. And with that, we will conclude today's product call. I wish you all well. I wish your families well. And Brady, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Calvin. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.